I just finished my finals for this semester, and it's got me reflecting a lot on how middle school and high school was for me compared to how college has been. And I don't know if there's any teenagers out there that are struggling with school or with really anything else. I mean, this video kind of goes out to you as somebody who was a major fuck up when I was a teenager. You know, I've struggled with bipolar, ADHD, autism, addiction. Which, bipolar and addiction kind of go hand in hand. You know, they are good friends. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 9 or 10, and I haven't really stopped. I mean, I've taken a couple of sabbaticals, if you will, but I still vape. You know, so it's like one thing or another. However, nicotine is kind of the least of my worries because I started doing cocaine when I was 15 years old. And I was on and off it until I was 21. I'm 22 now. And I had a lot of troubles with alcohol when I was 17 and 18. I don't think teenage alcoholism is talked about enough, but I think it is a serious fucking problem. But what I'll tell all you teenagers out there, as somebody who I hope you can kind of respect. I'm not your parents. I have no stake in this, but I just want to help you out. You can avoid ending up like me really easily. All you got to do is quit trying to be somebody who isn't you. I spent a lot of my teenage years trying to be this tough, hard-ass, badass guy, you know, and really, at the end of the day, I don't want to be like that. My authentic self is somebody who's kind and compassionate, you know, somebody who cares about other people. And what I didn't realize then is that like the person who is compassionate and kind and caring and somebody who's trustworthy and reliable is a lot more of a badass than the dude that's just getting into fights for no reason. You know, chugging a bottle of liquor isn't as badass as taking a sip of scotch and having a good conversation with good friends, you know. When I was a teenager, I did get into a lot of fights. I drank a lot of liquor. I did cocaine. And these things are bad. I mean, like, I hate to be like one of those guys that's like, you know, the typical guidance counselor dude who's just like, and you know, if you do drugs even one time, your life's gonna be fucked up forever. But, I mean, this shit is bad for your brain, especially when you're that young, when you're trying to develop. You know, your hormones are all out of whack, and you think you fucking know everything, and you don't know shit. You don't know shit about fuck. So you do these things, and you just go off the rails a little bit like it. You know, I'm kind of tired of these movies that glamorize getting drunk and passing out in a field when you're 14. Like, I've been there. I've done a lot of wild shit in my day, and it's not really worth it. My grades were terrible throughout high school and middle school and elementary school. We didn't have grades, but I got consistently poor performance reviews in elementary school. And it's not because I'm fucking stupid. It's just because I didn't want to fucking be there. I thought I had better shit to do, and I did. School is a joke, but it's one of those things you have to do. And your life will be a little bit better if you do better with it. It took me 4 years out of high school to figure out what I wanted to do with my next step. And that was become a Harley Davidson mechanic. And that's great. It's been really good. I have straight A's because it's something that I really want to do. However, it would have been a lot easier to get money for school, to be able to have that paid for, if I had just done a little bit better in high school and gotten some of those scholarships. You know, I don't regret waiting to decide what I wanted to do for college, because I think if I had gone when I was freshly 18 and fucking up all the time, I think I would have just owed the federal education department several $1,000s that I would have blown all on liquor anyway. But I say these things as kind of a warning for you guys that are struggling out there, and theys and thems and ladies, you know, all inclusive. It's not about a male condition, it's a human condition. You know, we all struggle with these kinds of things. One thing that really affected me was it seemed that all my role models were either dropping dead, going to prison, or moving away. And that can be really hard when you're a kid. It really, really can be. But the thing about life that I've learned this far, and I know I'm not that far into it, but the things I have learned is that you just got to learn to take it on the chin. Life has a really funny way of kicking you in the nuts. You just got to get back up. You can't let these things dictate how the rest of your life has to be. From the time I was 14 till about the time I was 20, I wanted to kill myself so bad. I wanted almost nothing more than to do it. And to this day, I mean, I don't really know why I didn't. I had access to anything that could have done it. I mean, but for some reason I wanted to hang on in the back of my mind. Even though the voice in my head was saying, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. For some reason I stuck around. And I'll tell you, I'm fucking glad I did. Because now life has been pretty kick-ass. Since I made the decision to stick around, since I made the decision to try to get my life together, life has been pretty kick-ass. I've done better with music. I've got motorcycles. I've got an old pickup truck that I'm working on. I've got, you know, a good family. I'm engaged. That's awesome. It's really, it's worth it. As much as you might not think it is, it's worth it to sit down, figure out what you want to do, and find a plan. Even if you don't stick to it the best, find a plan. Say you're a freshman in high school and you don't know what you want to do with the rest of your life. That's okay. Some people get to their 40s before they figure shit out, and that's fine. There's no time limit on doing what you want out of life. The thing is it's a lot easier to make life what you want it when you're not in prison, and it's a lot easier to make life what you want it when you're not dead. So my plan for even coming here, even though I wasn't struggling with the suicidal thoughts near as much, or struggling with addiction near as much, I moved to Missouri so that I could attend the school that I go to. And my plan for moving here was stay alive, stay out of prison. And I stuck to that plan. And now I'm doing pretty good. But the thing is, you have to commit yourself. You can't half-ass it. Nothing that's good for you is ever going to be easy. And I know I sound like a boomer there, but it's true. Like, it's not been easy to go from a bartender schedule of, going to bed at 5 a.m., waking up at 3 p.m. and going to work at 9 o'clock, to waking up at 6 a.m. to get to school by 8 and then being there until the day is done. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And anything that is worth it is going to be hard. For example, I play guitar. This is my new one. I got it yesterday. I really like it. It took me so long to be comfortable with that instrument. I've been playing for 10 years now. And I really do think that the guitar and music in general is one of the few things that has kept me alive. But it has taken me so long to get to a point of comfortability with it. But it's good for me. It's something that works really well. And it doesn't have to be music. Music has always been a big part of my life. And again, I think it's responsible for me staying alive. It can be really anything that you feel passionate about. But I guess I'm kind of rambling here, and this video is getting pretty long. But I guess at the end of the day, for all you youngins out there, nothing is that fucking serious. Your parents care about you. You should care about you. School sucks, but it's worth just making it through. But don't take anything happening right now that seriously. Your first breakup is not the end of the world. There will always be more people out there for you. That's the nice thing about it being a big world, is there's always going to be somebody. Your first car is a nice freedom. It feels like anything in the world. Don't drive it like an asshole. Take care of it, and it'll take care of you. Your parents, I hope, I know sometimes it's not the case, but your parents are there to support you, and they love you unconditionally, even though it may not feel like it sometimes. I've fucked up a lot with my parents, and they're still there for me to this day. And they're there for you. It may feel like everyone and everything is working against you. I promise you it's not. That is one thing. I mean, I was a scout, believe it or not, from the face tattoos, the hand, I was a scout, and on Scout's honor, the world isn't out to get you, but the world is what you make of it. So if you believe the world is out to get you and you act like it is, it's gonna feel that way every day. It's called confirmation bias. You think something and then stuff happens, so you believe it to be true. It's not, but that's confirmation bias. Straighten up, fly right, and put your whole ass into what you do. Don't bother fucking around with these things that can't end well. Drugs do not end well. Marijuana is fine. I'm not talking about pot here. I'm talking about the hard stuff. And you may think, oh, I'll just, smoke a little, drink a little in high school. I'll never touch the hard stuff. I thought that too. I've had to have like 4 or 5 teeth removed, 4 of them being wisdom teeth, but I've had to have 5 teeth removed over the last summer that were completely rotted from drug use. So if that tells you anything, stay away from that. Stay away from liquor, stay away from drugs. Just keep your mind about you, keep your wits about you, and do better for yourself. Thanks.